This is my audience. How would you feel if you wore the same thing every weekday for 13 years? Yes, you can wash it and have multiple pieces of it, but overall you wore the same thing every day. Sounds boring, right? Well, I'm Sarah Brandt. I'm giving you a speech about the benefits of having a school uniform. I've been someone who had a uniform every school year up until last year when I went to college. It was a really big transition, and luckily I didn't have to buy many new clothes. The statistics I've researched that show having a school uniform improves schools and costs a lot less. Personally, I believe wearing a school uniform enhanced my education and helped me become a better student. And it was less expensive to having buy new school clothes every year. This is an example of my school uniform. Today I'm giving you 5 steps that show how you can take order and be more educated about the benefits of having a school uniform. Schools that don't require school uniforms need to at least think about requiring them. In the second step, I'm going to be quoting Matt Busing, who wrote the article, Pros of School Uniforms, which will help accentuate the benefits of having a school uniform dress code. In the next step, I will provide statistics that should enhance your credibility and provide arguments with more factual information. The fourth one would be, since you've gained more knowledge of the benefits of school uniforms, I want you to go out and mention to your teachers, principals, or anyone involved in the decision-making of your school and talk about getting a uniform code for your school. Next, I will be going into more detail about the 5 steps. The first step would be, it is important for schools, teachers, and administrators to at least consider school uniforms. Matt Busing stated in his article, Pros of School Uniforms, that having school uniforms will enhance the learning environment, which will be with less distracting clothing. Also stated by Busing is that it costs less to have uniforms in schools unless there's a great difference in your physical appearance, which will most likely you not have to buy school uniforms every year. The second step is that there are many benefits to having school uniforms, and in this next step I will be explaining different benefits to having school uniforms. By eliminating the daily distractions of unregulated school clothing, as well as peer pressure associated with label competition, uniforms set the tone for a proper work attitude in the classroom, reduce behavior problems, and improve student performance, which is quoted by Matt Busing in his article. And Busing also states that comparisons show that school uniforms cost significantly less than what most parents for unregulated school clothing pay for, and school uniforms are less expensive than other types of clothing. In this next step, I will provide statistics that should enhance credibility and provide your arguments with factual information. Educationbug.org states that 50% of schools in Cincinnati require school uniforms. That's half the schools in Cincinnati. And many public schools are making the switch to school uniforms as well as parochial schools. Education Bug also had done a survey with 755 schools that averaged that 71% of schools were thinking about changing their dress code to having a school uniform. And in the final step, I ask you to talk about it. If you feel like school uniforms are great and inexpensive as an option to improve your school, go to a higher power and give them facts about school uniforms and the benefits they have to offer. After finding out how beneficial it is to make the switch to school uniforms through statistics from educationbug.org, quotes from Matt Busing's article, and my personal shares about my life with school uniforms, I hope that you have changed your views for the better and consider school uniforms to be as beneficial as I do. So now I ask you to not only think about talking to your school's administration about requiring school uniforms, but actually talking to them instead of thinking about it and giving facts about how great a school can benefit from having school uniforms. So if you're currently in school, teaching, or administrating, I ask you to schedule a meeting to talk about the benefits school uniforms have to offer. Thank you for listening, and I hope I've changed your views about school uniforms. Thank you.